Hi, my name's Yuval, and for the last 6 years I've been living in this absurdly small studio apartment. Like, it's not even 200 square feet. Absurdly small. Despite living in a shoebox, I've somehow managed to have just about anything a person could want in an apartment, including a dog. I've learned you can fit a lot more than you think you can, and since I'm moving out, I finally feel safe enough to have a video that shows my windows. So here is my guide on how to live in an absurdly small space. First things first, this video is not a minimalism how-to. I am in no way a minimalist. I literally have a shelf in my cabinet just for jars. I've seen closets larger than my apartment, but I still have a lot of things, most of which is unnecessary. So barring the most extreme exceptions, you shouldn't have to start purging just yet. Which brings me to tip number 1. Give yourself room to move. What? I hear you say in response. Isn't this a guide on how to live in an incredibly small space? Shouldn't the goal be to cram as much stuff as possible and not leave an inch of free room? Well, if this was a storage closet, I'd agree. But this is where you live, meaning that the most important thing to consider is that your space needs to feel livable. Simply existing in your apartment shouldn't cause you pain. You shouldn't have to squeeze between organizers and duck under shelves just to go to the bathroom. I promise you, you do not need to make your room a filing cabinet. Look, even with all of my knickknacks, I still have enough room to spin around. So first, give yourself some room to move, and you will feel infinitely better. My rule of thumb is that you should always make sure you have enough room to juggle, should you ever need to. This rule also applies to your kitchen countertops. Yes, you can cram a lot of kitchen gadgets on them, but your kitchen will feel like a metric pain in the ass as you're constantly pushing stuff aside so you can chop an onion. Really, the only things you should have on the counter itself are things you're grabbing constantly. Everything else can go in a cabinet or on a shelf. Seriously, put the toaster in a cabinet and take it out when you need it. It's not that hard. You'll find it makes actually using your kitchen a lot more enjoyable. Tip number 2. Hooks. Honestly, if you only take away one thing from this video, let it be this. Hooks! Use them to hang literally everything. Like obviously your coats, towels, and keys can go on hooks, but so can your backpack, your oven mitts, your spatulas, your wok, your cast iron, your vacuum cleaner, ring light, and juggling clubs, your ironing board, the over-the-door pull-up bar, your belts. Hell, even your fruit can hang off the side of the fridge. Quick note, I do not know why the only fruit I have there is a single rotten banana. I just don't remember. I filmed this like back in June. I promise I usually have fruit in those 2 bins, typically, oranges and apples of various kinds. Maybe it was just because, I was about to move, so I wasn't buying any other perishables. I realize in hindsight, I probably should have thrown out that banana before recording. I promise I eat fruit. They can also go pretty much anywhere. Don't just be a dweeb and put them on your walls. Get some command strips and stick them to the inside of your cabinets and dangle your measuring cups or this collapsible colander. Follow that same principle and stick some boxes of Ziploc bags to the cabinet door to save yourself some drawer space, or your sponge daddy on the side of your sink so it doesn't have to sit on your countertop. Get some magnetic hooks and stick them to the underside of this $20 IKEA shelving unit. Also realize that the shelving unit has these weird holes that perfectly hold these hooks, so you can get away holding more cooking gadgets than you realistically could ever need. 2 cookie scoops. They don't even really need to be hooks to be hooks. These hats I have hanging above my closet are hanging off of nails. These sunglasses off the side of this hutch on my desk, literally just thumbtacks. This looks like a reading light to you? Psych, it's a hook from my headphones. Tip number 3. Learn how to use a drill and put up a shelf. Okay, I take it back. This should be the one thing you take away from this video. Seriously, it's not that hard. If your walls are drywall and you have wood studs, it's super easy. You don't even need anchors. Just get a stud finder and drill into a stud. For anyone who's wondering how am I supposed to teach myself that, here's a visual reenactment on how I taught myself how to put up a shelf. Just use the internet, guys. It's not that fucking hard. You'll be amazed at how much space you have when you realize you can build up. Doing this let me have this cool plant shelf above my bed, and also allowed me to extend my IKEA shelf up to the ceiling. Not being scared of a drill also lets you do non-shelf but still wall-mounted things, like this bedside fan that would have been on the floor otherwise. If you're scared of real shelves, at least have little ones, like these command strip shelves holding all of my Rubik's Cubes. Had I needed to, I could have moved some of the posters around for more shelves. I don't think I came even close to using all the space I could have. Tip number 4. Every space is an opportunity. Instead of grabbing all your things and trying to find the perfect spot for all of them, try looking at your space and asking yourself, do I have something that can fit here? Got room on top of your microwave? Next to it? Why is it empty? Put shit there. This weird little gap between my fridge and my counter, I can put a bench scraper there because why not? I have this real estate on the side of my fridge where I can hang more things. No reason not to use it for these cutting boards and this meat thermometer. This little crevice on the side of my TV can fit my bike pump, and the gap on the side of Kim's crate can fit this folding card table. And the side of this cabinet above my fridge is the exact size of my cooling racks. Thinking this way almost makes your space look like it was made for you. Also, everyone, please take a brief moment to appreciate how much of a win this trash can is. Thank you. These are pretty small adjustments, but this works for larger pieces too. Do you have a bed that sits above the floor? No reason not to put drawers underneath. My dog's crate would have had a lot of wasted space above it, so I got one that doubled as a bookshelf. Bonus that it came with a drawer that perfectly fit the food bin I already had. My nightstand would have been a wasted opportunity had I not gotten one that had shelves. Same's true for above my toilet. Put a hutch there. And this space next to the hutch? Well, that's where my Swiffer goes. Does this feel a little chaotic? I don't know. Maybe. I got this big ass level hiding behind my laundry bin, but that's fine, so long as it works. I make this to show that living in a small space is easier than it feels like it should be. You don't need to turn every inch into storage. Not everything needs to be functional or serve a purpose. You should have room for art, for trinkets, for plants, for posters, for pictures of your friends and family, for a junk drawer, and even for an unnecessary knife collection. You can make your small space feel like a home. And this is something anyone can do. You don't need to meticulously plan out every inch of your space, and not everything needs to be perfect. For example, my cable management system right now is just shove the wires to the side where no one will notice. You don't need a 3D printer making custom organizers to perfectly fit your space. You can do this with what you already have just by utilizing it correctly. Although I did just get a 3D printer, so I may try to do exactly that in my next apartment. Update from next apartment, I did indeed do exactly that in a few places. So yeah, even in this claustrophobia-inducing space, I've been able to have everything I need. I guess the only staple thing I'm missing is a couch, but I actually used to have that too. I just got rid of it when I wanted to get Kim a bigger crate. Oh, also, you're gonna want to make sure you have enough space for a VCR. Preferably two.